So, are we getting any viewers yet? Let's wait just a second before we begin. Alright, we're live. Good evening, LTL Nation, and welcome to the 7-minute Breakthrough Revolution. My name is Faisal Zeineddine, and this is Life Talks Live. Tonight, we talk about leadership, but I do not want to consider this a talk. Neither do I want you to do so. Let's consider this a conversation. I'm hoping it will ascend to a conversation of minds. That might seem like suspicious telepathy to you, but please, let's have fun with this, humor me, and let's call it deep thinking. Before I begin, I want to share a little story about a great leader, a leader that we all know, the great Mahatma Gandhi. So one time there was this boy in an Indian village who was eating a lot of sugar, and his mom could not help him out. She couldn't stop him, so she decided to take the kid and take him to see Mahatma Gandhi. It was a long journey. They walked for hours. They reached Mahatma's house, and there she told Mahatma, "I want you to tell my son to stop eating so much sugar." And Gandhi looked at her and said, "I cannot tell this to your son now. Please come back in 2 weeks." The mom was confused. Why couldn't he say it now? Why in 2 weeks? But she couldn't do anything, so they left. 2 weeks later, they come back. They see Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi looks at the kid and tells him, "Kid, stop eating so much sugar. It's not good for you. Just stop it." And the kid says, "Okay." The mother looks at Gandhi. She tells him, "Why couldn't you say this 2 weeks ago?" And he says, "Mother, 2 weeks ago I was eating too much sugar." So we'll come back to the moral of that story in a bit, but first, let's get straight into provoking your minds. I'm going to be asking a lot of questions. I want you just to follow up. Even if you can't find the answers at one point, don't get stuck. Just follow me on to the next question. Alright, we got a deal? Let's go. What is leadership, and how do you know you're a leader? Better yet, are you a leader? Well, usually our ego jumps in to answer that question with a resonating yes. However, to be a leader, literally, you have to be leading. So who are your followers? Who are following in your footsteps? See, when we dig a little deeper, we hurt our ego with the answer, because when we look around, we find out we're not truly or mostly leading anyone. So, are you a leader? I'm going to become a little bit more provocative in a moment, so I'm going to keep this question hanging. So answer this now. Are you a follower? Have you been led? And before you let your ego answer again, let's do this small exercise. If you have ever been led to a decision by a peer, a parent, whether it's about your career or about a spouse marrying a certain person or not, or a certain major in college, whatever it is, if you've ever been led to a decision by a parent or a peer, raise your right hand, say "I." Say "I" and keep your hand up. Do it for me. Please do this right now. Keep your right hand up. And now while it's up, I want you to answer question number 2. If you have ever been led by an amazing advertisement or a great marketing campaign to buy something that you don't really need, something that is not essential, it's not necessary. If you've been led towards that decision, raise your other hand, say "I." Say "I." I am a follower. I am a follower. I am led by great media, by marketing, by parents, by religions, by politicians. Raise both hands, say "I." And while your hands are up, you got 2 choices now. Choice number 1, keep your hands up and say "I surrender." I surrender to being a follower. My hands are up. You got me. I'm a follower. Or you got choice number 2. You put your hands down and you get ready for the fight. And I'm going to help you get ready. I'm going to give you the tools to be ready for that fight. First of all, 4 things you got to do. And it's very easy to remember the 4 things. because they go with the word lead. L-E-A-D, lead. Because we're talking about leadership. So what do they stand for? Lead. L-E-A-D. L, you gotta listen. E, evaluate, analyze, and decide. Listen to the advice that's going to be coming your way, whether it's from parents, from peers, from friends. Take it in, listen to it, don't block it out, listen to the advice. It's knowledge, it's information, you can use it, so listen. Number 2, you evaluate. You take that information and you find out how true it is. You do your research, you evaluate it. It's step number 2. Step number 3, you analyze, you make your plans, you research more, you put a whole scheme down, plan of action, and then finally you see if it works, you see what doesn't work, and you decide. So it's L-E-A-D. You listen, you evaluate, you analyze, and you decide. And ultimately that makes it your decision, whatever the outcome was, whatever is the advice that came your way, it becomes your decision. So listen closely, guys. Being a leader is not about your position. It's not if you're a boss or a CEO or an owner of a firm, it doesn't matter. Position does not reflect leadership. Actions and attitude reflect leadership. But what do all leaders have in common? Leaders like Michael Jordan, like Mahatma Gandhi, like Martin Luther King Jr., even bad leaders like Hitler and like Trump. Even though we might not agree or don't want him to be a leader, he is, maybe unfortunately. But these are leaders. What do they all have in common? It's one thing. One thing they have in common, and it's not personality, it's not their aura or their vibe or their thoughts. They have one thing in common, and that thing is called conviction. They have a great belief in themselves. To a great extent, they have belief in what they believe in, which is so strong, it is called conviction. They just see that path where they want to go, what they truly believe is the right thing, and they go for it no matter what the outside world is saying. That is what a true leader is about. When your conviction is so strong, it will be strong enough for people to see you and follow you. Because you're defying the whole world now. You're even ready to take it and stretch it and defy reality and the laws of the universe because it's something you believe in so strongly. Conviction. And I'm going to give you 2 scenarios right now. Keep them in mind and remember them forever. 2 scenarios. One where you actually take the advice of your peers, your parents, media, you take that advice and you go down their road, the road that is taken by almost everyone. And imagine yourself on that road, because once you're there, you're gonna work just as much as everybody does. You might succeed, you might not, but that's the effort you're gonna put in. The normal, the usual. And if you're there, whether you succeed or whether you don't, you're never gonna know the outcome of plan B, which was actually plan A, which was your plan. But now, imagine that you select your plan, your decision, and you go through with that. I promise you, and I swear to you that once you're on that path, you are gonna work 500,000 times harder to prove the world wrong and to prove that you were right. And it's magical. Once you're on your own road, you will defy the whole universe. You will work day, night, 24/7 to make sure you don't fail, to prove the world wrong about your decision. And that goes back to conviction. It's not about being a hypocrite. You want to lead, you believe in it. It's yours. It's your mindset. And then you put it into action. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my talk for tonight. Thank you for tuning in. And tune in tomorrow with Shadden. The rest of the coaches during this week, they have, as usual, so much more to add on this topic. As always, go to our Facebook page or to our website, lifetalkslive.com. Hit us with your questions, your feedback, your stories. I want to add a very small addition to that, we are now being asked by a lot of people how can they share their thoughts. And unfortunately, we can't have so many guest speakers per week. Mostly one, maybe two, but we can't have that much. But we do want to share your stories. So please, we ask you to email us, get in touch with us, let us tell you how you can share your stories on Life Talks Live, and that would be exactly what we're hoping to do here, share people's stories and let the whole world learn from our experiences. So please get in touch, and in the meantime, I hope you have a very blessed night, have a very blessed week, and I will see you next Sunday. Over and out. Peace and love, LTL Nation.